Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. We are back for some more F124 League Racing content here for late dive racing. Round number 11, I believe, the Mexican Grand Prix. And like I said, if you're not checking out the last of the LDR, please go check that out below in the videos. But I did say we were taking a grid penalty for this race, and I have stated that I am, and we will be taking the grid penalty here in Mexico. We will possibly be taking one in the next round in Brazil as well, and maybe even Las Vegas. So there's 3 engine penalties coming our way. Everybody must take 4 engine penalties in this league, and I am stating that I will take the 4. And I'm going to like to get some out of the way. And I'm going to take one in Mexico because the reason why I'm going to take one in Mexico is actually because it's actually one of my better tracks, and I think that this will be a good track to capitalize. And same as my teammate Reimer is also taking a engine penalty as well. So short and simple for quality. We couldn't do much, obviously, because again we're starting from the back. But CMS got pole position in the Aston Martin. DTB Rich also got P2, making his return back to the league. And like I said, I'm very late, so I don't know how he really is. He fears it coming in 3rd, and yeah, so we got some big names. King Pro as well also took an engine penalty as well. So it is quite crazy chaos in the back, and obviously, like I said, Mexico, it's a 36-lap race. Anything can happen, and I hope that we can get some luck in our side. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get ready to strategy 5 minutes before lights out, and obviously we're going to adjust the strat. I was actually communicating with my teammate, and he said that we should probably start in the hard tires and go to the mediums. Now, we ultimately went with different strategies, but I decided to possibly go the hard tire strat. I underfueled just a little bit, not too crazy, because the fuel load kind of does get a little bit iffy here, so we didn't underfuel too much. I probably should start underfueling more because it seems to always be a safety car. So, yeah. We're going to start on the hards. He changed his mind last minute. He's going to start on the medium tires, so anything can happen here for the 5 red lights here. 36 laps around Mexico, and lights out. Away we go for this Grand Prix. We actually get a horrendous start and absolutely smoke everywhere. This is actually before the update, hence up. Please fix the smoke AI, or just in general. But let's get back to this. Obviously, down to turn 1, very tricky part of the track, kind of, to really not make contact, because a lot of drivers seem to make contact, and we're seeing some right there. My teammate actually got taken out by Carlos. We actually make a little bit of contact with King Pro. I didn't mean to hit him a little bit, and also Knight as well, also side by side. So it's almost 3 wide. Reimer, my teammate, he does have a broken end plate, so that's going to cost him quite a little bit of downforce. And now I believe that is Zox going around the outside. Zox is actually, he started really in the back, so I don't know if he joined in late or I just straight up missed that he was taking an engine penalty. So Zox in the back, not great. We've actually fallen to basically 15th, and Sui is 16th. So yeah, so now we're dead last, and that's okay. Honestly, I want to try to just pick through this field very nice and smoothly, and like I said, points is all I really care about after the stinker we had in America, so I really would like to get a good result here. And like I said, I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to let the tires come into my window. As actually Knight has made a little bit of an error there, and we're going down the inside on Zox, and Zox kind of shut the door a little bit, but ultimately he was clearly way more ahead, so that is unfortunate for my side. Rich with the 119.7. Obviously, we're going to go a lot faster, but lap 1 is complete now. Lap 2, Zox going to be all over the back of my teammate Reimer. So, like I said, I was kind of communicating with Reimer. I was trying to see if he would let me pass, but he said that he didn't really want to do that right now, and I'm trying to be careful with my teammate because I don't want to get on my teammate's bad side in this league. So, ultimately, we'll just have to sit back there and think about letting me go. But at the end of the day, we'll have to see what happens. So Reimer is P12, and we're going to try to move up this grid. If I could get around him, though, it would ultimately be a lot better for me. And ultimately, we'll just see what happens here. But we got the DRS now. He's also got DRS, but here comes the DRS train. Everybody's got it. CMS and I believe Rich, I believe those two are the ones that are just straight up fighting for P1 and P2. So Rich is leading the pack in the Williams ahead of one of the, I think that might be, I don't know who the other Mercedes is. I don't know if that's King Pro or not. I don't think that is. King Pro actually pitted on lap 4. I guess he has some end plate damage. But yeah, this train is not like it's so great. Hemi Kid is kind of in this train as well, and same as Carlos and a couple other drivers. Eferzi. We have a couple guys that actually are reserves this weekend as well. So I believe Rassam is also in that train, which Rassam It's kind of a familiar name. You guys know him quite well if you tune into the Twitch streams. We race with him on Monday and Wednesday nights in our other league. So Rassam is a fellow guy and a really good competitor on track. But anyways, back to the action. We go down the inside on Reimer for the position, and I'm going to hopefully try to get around him, and I do get around him. So like I said, I told him just to kind of stay back, try to see if I can help him get through this field ultimately, but he's able to get a lot more better traction. We ran out very wide through that corner, but he said he was totally cool with it. Obviously, sometimes you don't want to fight with your teammate, but at the end of the day, if you race clean, you race clean. So, and ultimately we'll have to try to see what happens. But anyways, Carlos now, he's very vulnerable on the straight. He's actually lost a little bit of time to, I believe that was Hemikid. And actually, Carlos breaks really late, and he broke very late, and now he's still fighting that all along. So Hemikid now ahead of Carlos, and this battling is actually, it's not helping us out quite a lot because we're trying to get up to the grid, and we can't really do that. Carlos very late on the brakes. He's able to keep the car corner. We lose the car, and now Carlos turns into us completely. I don't know if he made a mistake. We're now off checking. They're all over the tires, and that is a broken front wing. All right, and safety car comes out, so that helped me out quite a little bit. Yeah, I just don't know what happened. I guess I just got on the dirt, and ultimately it just got off track and got in the dust and just absolutely ruined the race. So unfortunate. My teammate comes in and changes end plate. That's kind of not what we wanted to do, so I'm going to go pit for the mediums now and kind of pray for another safety car, see if we can go back on the hard tires. But we also could do 2 medium stints as well, so ultimately we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, so Reimer goes onto the hards. We're going to stay on the mediums, and we're going to try to catch back up to this train. Ultimately, that was just really unfortunate for my side, but you just got to start taking it a little bit more easy, I guess you could say, in this Grand Prix. So yeah, it's honestly just really unfortunate, I guess you could say. That's all it is. And that's all I can really say about that. So anyways, safety car comes in this lap and absolutely backing up the train completely is someone up there. I think that was Carlos actually got caught napping, and he did get caught napping just a little bit. So green flag, we're back underway for lap 9 of this race. Still a long race to go. And we'll see what Reimer's pace is in the clean air. But me and Reimer have been really close this weekend, so we were really I can manage to stay with his pace, which is actually pretty good because it's good having 2 strong teammates. But when you guys are on track next to each other and you both are ahead of the pit stops, it makes it pretty vulnerable. It's actually Reimer gets he probably got shoved off the corner by Rassam there just a little bit. So that could be a little bit of a controversy type thing. But honestly, I didn't really see anything too wrong. But yeah, so up in this train, we got a couple guys, actually Anime Boy and Zox and Knight. So we've had some sort of a crash back there. 3 cars come together, and a safety car has been deployed. Another one. So 3-car crash back in there with Anime Boy, Zoc, and Nightcat. So ultimately, another safety car comes out. So we'll stay in the mediums. We're not going to pit for the hards. So maybe a couple guys might pit under the safety car strat. I don't know who was going to pit. I don't know who will not pit. Ultimately, we'll have to all just see what happens, I guess you could say. So let's take a look down the grid here. Hemi Kid has came in. Rich has came in. Knight's pitted for the softs. And a couple other guys came in as well. Emmanuel actually pitted for the hard tires as well. So Emmanuel's probably in one of the more better positions to go to the end of this race and possibly even win. Carlos also pitted onto the hard tires as well. So couple guys actually pitted for the hard tires on that restart, so ultimately we'll have to see how they do. But green flag is back out, and we go once again after a third, I believe our second safety car restart. Someone is trying to break the toe up in the front there. I believe that is CMS trying to break the toe, and we need to watch out for Rich. Obviously, Rich is the championship leader coming into this race. He's leading the championship by, I believe, a good amount of points, so he is someone to watch out for in this race. But he actually hasn't been, let's say, showing up to the events because he's actually been busy quite a lot. So we break very early through there. Honestly, it was a little bit yikes. But Rassam and Reimer go side by side. We're going to try to capitalize on Rassam here. We got the battery just a little bit, and ultimately we are ahead. But here comes Rassam down on the inside. I believe that coming on the inside of us, and also Rich gets right back ahead. So yeah, Rich is someone to watch out for, and Carlos and Supreme King Pro up there as well. So we have a couple of the more quicker guys up there in the front. A couple guys obviously have yet to pit, so we'll have to ultimately see what happens. But Rich is all over the back of us now. I mean, he's about a tenth. He's about a tenth away. So we're just trying to stay close. Reimer goes not really the ultimate line you take there through that corner, but ultimately was. I expect a big send from Rich here. He goes big send down the inside. Goes Rich, and he gives us enough space. Fair props to him. We braked very early. Honestly, I gotta get that habit out of my head of not trying to brake early and sit back, but ultimately I don't want to hit the back of my teammate. That's why, because you never want to make contact with your teammate. You ever heard of Baku 2018 Red Bull? That's what happens. So yeah, but Rich, I kind of was communicating with Reimer, telling Rich that we might want to stay with Rich to see if we can get back up to the grid, and he's actually going to let Rich go here because he wants to stay with him, but also if he can utilize his DRS, ultimately will just help us out quite a bit. Now I need to keep an eye out for Hemi Kid, because Hemi Kid is kind of next up, I guess you could say. He is the guy that's relatively behind us, but Rich down the inside on Carlos here. Carlos goes very wide. I expect very late on the brakes, and he makes contact with my teammate, and he completely turns in, and he just turns into my teammate completely. What is he doing? I have no idea what he's doing, but Reimer didn't really get cost too much, but Carlos has spun out. And I guess you could say that might be, well, no, they just made a little bit of contact. I guess you could say that was kind of maybe deserved, but now we got the DRS now, so we're back ahead of Reimer. So maybe we could try to close that gap down to Rich. I told him I'm going to try to close the gap down to Rich, but I believe I can catch up to King Pro very well, and actually Nightcats retires from this race, so kind of unfortunate for him. And first sector, very struggling through this race in the first sector. I feel like I'm losing quite a bit of time now through that first sector. But lap 14 now. We set a purple sector 1, so fast out of anybody. But yeah, we got some battling now. Rich goes down on the inside on Iferzi, and now Iferzi is next up for us. And also we got King Pro up there as well in the podium place, and I believe Emmanuel is leading this race from, I believe, CMS. He is leading the race from CMS, so we got an absolute titanic battle up there, and we got a massive DRS train now forming in this race. And these mediums, I mean, they're really going to start feeling their tire life really coming towards the end, so I'm kind of banking on for another safety car that would help us out quite a bit. And now Zox, who is very quick, is catching right back up to this train. So there's a lot of quicker guys in this league that I like, because I always like tough competition, but it's now possibly 3 wide down into this next corner. Who's going to be last on the brakes? He just gives us just enough space. As he does, he goes out very a little bit too wide. Got compromised on the apex. We go around King Pro, and Reimer capitalizes on Pro, so great battling through those positions. And now we try to stay with the Ferris DRS. Someone has had an off. That might be one of the Saubers, and another safety, and that's a VSC this time. A VSC is out. And I think you know what I'm going to do. If it's lap 15, we're going to pit for the hard tires, or maybe go back on the mediums. I'm thinking about going in the mediums, and so it become a full safety. So full safety car has been deployed. I'm thinking going back to mediums, but we're thinking about hards. I think we should go to mediums, though. And I believe we're going to go to mediums, and I'm 100% positive we're going to go to the medium tires. So ultimately we'll have to see. And yes, we are. We go for fresh mediums. Unfortunately, I'm going to probably hold up my teammate just a little bit, so we need a good stop from the boys. They 2.2, that's not bad. Let's see if Reimer can get out. I told Reimer he needs to really get ahead of Carlos, but ultimately he said it's not my fault that I came in. It's just kind of how, again, he told me it's just we're a great duo, and we both have the same pace. Reimer is ultimately a little bit more faster than me, but he said that ultimately it's just kind of how it is. So safety car in this lap 17, and absolutely everybody's kind of backing the train up just a little bit. I don't know what was going on there, but we'll have to get right back in it. And Iferzi takes off, and we got caught napping because we had to slow down quite a bit, and that did not help us whatsoever. So now we got to burn all the battery down this main straight. We've already lost a second to Iferzi, but like I said, turn 1 is always going to be some calamity, as someone's going to either make a move, or we're just ultimately going to get back. Iferzi with a massive lockup, though, and now we're back in that DRS range with Iferzi. So now we just really got to relatively just stay with him at this point through this race. Still quite a little bit of a race to go. Rassam does have 3 seconds coming his way. We also are very close to track limits warning as well. I believe we've already had 2 in this Grand Prix, so we cannot afford another one. Ultimately, it's just where you place on track that is more important than, post-race. But Iferzi, he got caught in the curb, and actually he kind of, and I actually made a mistake, and we got a 3-second time penalty. He got caught in the curb. The car just got off balance when he hit the curb, and that did not help us whatsoever. So we kind of cut the corner, and that's ultimately my fault. That's a 3-second time penalty coming my way, and I will take that because ultimately that was it's true. I just had to avoid him, and I just cut the corner a little too much. So we'll try to get around Ferzi here on lap 20. Carlos Moya is back in this train. I don't know if he was ahead. That might have been Supreme that I think that he was trying to get out on the exit. I'm not sure if Carlos was even ahead of this train. I'm not 100% positive what happened. But yeah, so we'll have to try to get around him. Carlos has been a bit of a questionable driver to overtake in this league. I will say that. It's no disrespect to him, but he's a bit of a he's makes some questionable overtakes. Let's just say that. So back on Rassam here in the V car, but we're gonna get around Rassam and possibly even maybe attack Ferzi. But I don't think we're thinking about it. We might go down the inside. No, we don't. We'll just back out of that one. I didn't know if he was going to give us space. But Rassam goes around the outside. He makes a ferry. He took the curb a lot. And that off-balanced his car through there. So lap 21, right back on Ferzi. And try to keep an eye on for Rassam as well. So very tight battling in this race. Now Carlos Moya lost out to Ferzi. We're going to have to try to get around Carlos. And ultimately we don't really get that done. So we'll try again, and we'll see how we'll see how late he brakes. You see how late this man brakes, and he just locks up the tires. So it's smart, but it's not good to get flat spots on the tires, man. I hope he knows that. But we're gonna try to get around him in this main straight. I ultimately see it's a lot better to get around him on the main straights than in the corners. Ultimately, it's just easier for everybody just to get around him in the main straight, which is cool. But he's actually lost about a good second just from Ferzi. So we get around Carlos, and hopefully we can just extend this gap to well, hopefully we could just catch right back up to Ferzi. Hemi Kid as well on the hard tires as well, and there is some battling. Focina, who's actually reserving for the letter P, is in that as well, and I believe that's a 3-car battle. I think King Pro is up there as well, or King Pro is leading the race. There is some sort of a battle up there. I don't know who that is 100%. Oh, that is Hemi Kid. That's my bad. That's Hemi Kid for P5. So yeah, we are charging up this grid, and it's actually quite looking good. So we're gonna try to get around Focina. We'll get around Focina. Hemi Kid is next up, but we think about sending it, but we don't ultimately do that. Focina's got the inside line. He takes a lot of curb, and it probably offset the car through that part of the track in that chicane. But we give him the space, and ultimately, well, we just got ahead. So lap 25 now, 10 laps to go in this Grand Prix, basically almost 10 laps to go. Now it's going to be full charge. Hopefully no more safety cars at the end of this race. Here comes Hemi Kid on Ferzi. King Pro has left the session, probably lagged out. Poor guy, did not deserve that. And, well, Hemi Kid, he gets around Ferzi. Now we're going to try to take Ferzi. He doesn't get the DRS though, because Hemi Kid was actually behind the detection point. And we'll try to get around Ferzi here. Down around the outside we go. Ferzi kind of takes a lot of curb, and we go to the inside. Ferzi turns in quite a little bit, but we make a little bit of contact, and we've lost out the 2 positions. And now and Focina, the McLaren's, absolutely bucks in my teammate. So, and now we got to get right back in here, and CMS is down the inside, and that's Supreme actually down the inside. And we're still side by side through that corner, but we're going to have to try to get around Supreme. But he just sticks the car on the outside. What a move by Supreme. And man, that did not help. I don't know what really happened there. That probably was maybe on me a little bit. Almost lost the car through that part. Almost just took a lot of curb through there and almost lost it again. And now Supreme goes off. So Supreme spins out, and that probably did not help him out. And King Pro is actually, his AI has took over. So poor guy now is really screwed. In CMS, who was starting on pole position, kind of got screwed out because, well, I think he got taken out. And, well, Rich is still heading in. Emmanuel, who is probably one of the quickest guys in this league, is in P2, so he is putting pressure on Rich. So there is a little bit of a battle for P1 through there. He's not far off, but he is close. CMS and Rassam, they're racing side by side. Rassam takes a lot of curb, and that did not help him at the end there. We're going to try to get around Rassam here. We always have good battles with Rassam. He's a great driver, great great competitor. He knows how to leave space, unlike a lot of people on F124. I'm sorry if you're one of those. But we go around the outside of Rassam and we get that move done. And right back up there we go. And down on the inside goes Rassam. He fought that back. He saw a gap and he went for it. And we get track limits. He did not push me off. I just completely misjudged. And Rassam gets right back ahead. So someone is there. As Eferzy is spun out. Oh no. Heartbreak for Eferzy as he was running actually somewhat well. Man, that poor guy got screwed, man. And Reimer, he's now got 3 seconds coming his way. He's got a time penalty. So yeah, everybody's kind of getting some time penalties, but try to charge back up the grid, but it's going to be tough. P9 is possibly looking on the cards here. Maybe even P8 because Rassam's got 6 seconds. So it is tight for those positions. But Reimer and CMS, they go side by side. Those two always have good battles on track. Rassam takes a lot of curve through that part, and I'm not taking a lot of curve more than him because ultimately I'm kind of just afraid that the car's is really just going to get off-settled or off-balance, so I'm not trying to do too much, but it's just how it is, I guess you say. So lap 31 now, 5 to go. Hemi Kid came, I don't know what happened to Hemi Kid. I think he might have had an accident, so yeah, we'll just have to stay within this train. I mean, it's still the battle for P5. It's still on. The battle for P5 is still on. CMS is ahead of Facina. So, obviously, I think this might be the battle for P4. This is P4. So, it's still on. There's still positions to gain here. And no matter the time penalty or what, you can still gain quite a little bit of time. So, Rassam ultimately in the DRS, but he doesn't get... he just kind of sits back there. He's actually recharging the battery. And probably smart for him to recharge because there's really no point of really trying to overtake at the moment through that part of the track. So we get right. So we're going to try to get right back on Rassam here. We go down the inside of Rassam here, side by side on lap 32. Now this is still a fight for on track, and Rassam goes very wide. Reimer lost the back end just a little bit. Hopefully that was a little bit of rear locking, and Rassam goes right back ahead. Now this is just getting annoying. It's Supreme. Supreme was retired. He's actually cost a safety car. So safety car is out, and well, we need to make a decision. I think we pit for the soft tires. Yes, we do. We pit for the softs, and unfortunately, my teammate's right there. But I'm possibly only gonna lose one position. That is possibly to Hemi Kid. So hopefully we don't lose too much. We get into the box now. Come on, let's get the tires on. I hope we get ahead of Hemi Kid. I don't know if we're gonna get ahead of him. It's gonna be very tight. We might honestly just lose out to one position, and Hemi Kid, he's gonna get ahead, so that is just unfortunate. But again, it's just close teammates. They're just right next to each other, and you can't do anything about it. So Hemi Kid, well, Hemi Kid just, we'll try to get around him. We'll just try to get around him, and like I said, I'm not worried too much. I'm confident that we can get around some of these guys for the last 2 laps, but it is going to be fun, the last 2 laps of this race. And 2 laps to go, 2 laps of hell. Let's give it some action here. And well, Rich is holding up the pack. He's not waiting. He doesn't want to give anybody slipstream. And now we're going. So we're back on our way. We're back on our way for this race. Lap 35. 2 laps to go left in this race. Rassam and Hemi Kid are going side by side. Eferzy on the medium tires. Carlos Moya as well behind us on the softs. So everybody kind of went for the softs. We have all fresh softs behind us. It's just they're just all fresh. And I get hit in the back end by someone. I don't know if that was Eferzy or King Pro, but someone has made contact. We corrected the car, thankfully. And now Eferzy gonna jump right back on us, and we can't really make a move on Hemi Kid. He just was trying to get around Facina, but here comes King Pro down the inside. Here comes Hemi Kid and Facina. They make contact, and they actually both make a little bit of contact, and we're going to pounce out the P7 now, and King Pro, he's next, and Zox has had a moment somewhere. Zox actually is spun out. So there's all sorts of action here, and like I said, everybody's giving their all in the last lap now. We go very wide. It's 3 seconds time penalty coming our way at the end of this race, and that is quite unfortunate. But we'll have to try to get around Manuel and CMS. They're going at it. This battle is all happening down for the last lap. And we approach the last lap of this Grand Prix. Who is going to get ahead? We try to get around on Zox, the Australian, but he defends that really well. Last lap now, all or nothing. This is going to be a great battle for the position. My teammate is up into P2. He is putting pressure under Rich. Zox has burned quite a little bit, but we're going to burn battery. We try to go down the inside on Zox through here. Rassam, CMS, Emmanuel. Rassam looking about it 3 wide, but CMS has the inside line. Emmanuel goes on the outside, and Rassam and Emmanuel, they make it tough and fair. Zox got the inside. We get down the inside. It's very tight, very tight. But Zox is able to defend that really well, and we possibly might sneak down on the inside. and I'm already botching the commentary quite a little bit. And on lap 36, it is absolute chaos on the last lap. And Rassam and King Pro now gets ahead of Rassam. So we couldn't really gain anything out of there, but other drivers are able to gain advantages. We must just not be placing the car in the right positions. And here comes Carlos as well, who is absolutely, he's going to send it in the last corner. So I expect this man to have a big send, but ultimately we'll have to try to get around Rassam here. And it's the last lap. All or nothing. King Pro's actually had an offer. We're going to capitalize on Rassam. We go around the outside of Rassam. Rassam hits us just a little bit, but he gives us enough space. We got the inside line. We give him space on the outside. It is very tight on the last lap. Who's going to get it? Rich gets ahead. Rich is P1. We come across checkered flag now. We finish P6 on track, but it's going to be P9 on track. Or after post-race penalties, man. That was chaotic. Man, what a battle. What a battle. What a battle that was. I enjoyed every bit of that. I hope you guys enjoyed every bit of that as well. That was fun. P9, I'll take it. That's not bad. Good recovery. Honestly wish it was a little bit better, but these things happen. So, ultimately, next race in Brazil, we'll have to see what happens. But thank you all for watching this video. Have a good rest of your day. Have a good rest of your week. Have a good rest of your weekend. And I will see y'all in the next one.